Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Lucy, welcome, and today I thought I would do something a little bit fun. I am going to show you how I used to do my makeup when I was younger. I don't actually own the palette that I used to use when I was younger, so I have found a substitute which I will show you in a second. So let's get into it. So first things first, when I started doing makeup, there was none of this primer for your eyelids. That wasn't a thing. Foundation was around and concealer. You put your foundation down over your concealer in the day, but my mum always said, Lucy, you don't need foundation, your skin is lovely. So I never used foundation, just saying. However, I bought the Urban Decay Deluxe palette, which if you ever had it or you have it still, it was like purple velvet with like silver chain sort of link over it. I can't describe the front of it. I don't have anything similar to show you. I think it was called the Deluxe palette, and I loved that palette. It came with a tiny little bottle of primer potion, which I used up very, very quickly, but then I never rebought it. And it's only recently that I actually decluttered that palette. But yeah, so I found the Alien palette has similar colours to the ones that I would use. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first things first, I would get a black eyeliner. We'll see if this one's sharpened. Yeah. And I would go underneath my eyes. Quite thick as well. So for quite a while, I walked around like this. I thought it made me look quite pretty. There we go. Needs to be a bit thicker. There we go. That was how I walked around. Yeah. That was the fashion. Okay, moving on to a couple of years later. I got into makeup. I actually worked at a Build-A-Bear workshop, which was originally Bear Factory, and then Build-A-Bear came over and bought out all the Bear Factories. And I used to work in a shopping mall, and I used to walk through a drugstore in the UK which is called Boots. I don't know if it's anywhere else. And a lady that used to work on the makeup counter used to see me sort of every day walking through, and we struck up a friendship, and she showed me how to use makeup, etc, etc. So yeah, right. So I would do that. Let's move on. So I would get a brush. Let's have a look. Get a brush. Oh, open up the Alien palette, and I would find a black, which was in the Deluxe palette. Now this black is probably a lot more pigmented than the one in the Urban Decay palette, so I'm gonna have to be very careful. And I would literally make a V on the outer corner of my eye. There's either a cat dying outside or a child crying. I can't really work out what it is. I think it might be a cat. just sort of smoke it out as I have done. And then I would get the gold, which was again in the palette, and for this one we're going to use the UFO, and I would just put that on the inner corner and drag it out. And I used to wear this look every day. That was pretty much it. Let's put a bit more of the UFO on this side. There we go. That is how I used to do my eye makeup. There was no highlighting the brow bone, none of that jazz. Let's put that away. Yeah, so that is how I used to do it. And then we would get the blush. I don't often use blush nowadays. I'm all about the highlight. But we didn't do contour, we didn't do any of that, but we did have blush. And we would suck in our cheeks and almost make the blush like the contour, but it obviously wasn't back in the day. Yeah, so I'm just going to get a blush brush. And I would go for the pinkiest one that I had, that I owned. I used to have a massive Coastal Scents palette with just, it was just all pinks. I'll do this. Or we would go on the apples of our cheeks. But I would sort of do this because I want it to look a bit sucked in, but thankfully proper contouring and all that jazz came along. There we go. And then I used to have a pink lipstick, which was MAC's Lady Gaga. I don't know if I still have it. It might. I do have a couple of. Yeah. This pink lipstick, it's like a blue based lipstick. Luckily there's no fuzz on it, so we're going to use it today. Most of the makeup on my channel is actually cruelty free, but I've kept some of my MAC lipsticks just for like memories. Oh. There we go. And that, guys, is how I used to do my makeup. I think it still looks quite nice, apart from the blush. The blush, obviously, is now needs to be like superseded by the contouring, which is all good. I'm going to chuck a bit of highlight on. But I'm not mad at that. This is how I used to do my makeup when I was younger. We love a bit of black and gold. There we are. So yeah, I think I'm gonna challenge Rock Goddess. If you watch my videos, which I know you do, I want to see how you used to do your makeup when you were younger. It's not a challenge, it's not a link challenge or anything. You don't have to pass it on. It's just a video idea for you, girly. So yeah. Stunning. See you later, guys. Bye.